everyone. Today we got to play the Guild of Merchants Explorers. So this is a brand new release from AEG Games. So it's also going to be in the big box, right?
Yeah, it's a point of contention because when we first got an email about the big game night, it was not in the box. So I went ahead and purchased the game at the store, and then they sent a follow-up email. And suddenly, one of the games that was in the previous email was gone, and this one was in there. So, since we're both attending Big Game Night, we're going to end up with 3 copies of this game.
So, if you guys need a copy, please let us know. We'll have extras. All right, so let's get into it. Can you tell us... Oh, but before we do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because board games are awesome. And we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. We've got all the Origin Hall. I think we've got a couple Kickstarters coming. So we got a few new kids games if you guys are interested in kids games. So super exciting. All right, you want to subscribe. All right, Randy, tell us more about this particular game.
All right, so Guild of Merchant Explorers, a 2022 release. Board Game Geek rank currently of 44.96 and Board Game Geek rating of 7.9. It's a 1 to 4 player game, average length of 45 minutes. It says age 14 and up. I don't think that's really...
No, but it is very drab, so... We'll get into that.
Okay. As far as the design, Matthew Dunstan and Brett J. Gilbert. Art by Gerald Landman. Published by Alderac Entertainment Group, or AEG. And it's MSRP of $49.99. Card House has it for $39.99. And Miniature Market does as well, but they're out of stock. So Card House still has it in stock.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about quality of components for this game. Now, when I said drab, this is where it really feels very...
That's more theme, though.
Well, you got cubes.
Yeah, the components are tiny.
And you've got your village-shaped pieces. You do got some wizard towers going on. Card quality, there is no linen finish.
No finish.
It is shiny.
You're going to need this sleeve, especially these... ones with the compass on them, because you're going to shuffle them constantly in the game. Yeah.
Now, the board game...
Yeah, the player maps are pretty good. They're nice texture on them.
Yeah, those are fine. But overall, it's just... oh, and you got a bunch of cardboard chits.
Yeah, cardboard money that's tiny.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with this. I'm going to give this a 5.5.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at, too. I just don't see anything that's outstanding, exciting. And you have this central board. I assume that maybe it's used for solo, because we really didn't use it during the course of the game. Well, I think you're supposed to, when you draw the card, play it up there to the pile. But why? Because you just do a discard pile. I mean, you're not referencing the previously played cards, so I don't understand.
I got nothing on that one.
We didn't use it.
We didn't use it. So overall, though, I guess it's for you to find out what is coming up.
Well, that'd be what's already played. But yeah, if you couldn't keep track of 9 cards, I mean, it's not like there's a whole lot of cards in the deck.
Fair, but there we are. So with that being said, let's go into theme. Now, there's no bright colors. It's all muted. It looks like an old map, I guess. Yeah. But it feels very... Well, and then the color choices on these, you've got, it's just... It's not very exciting, Randy.
The biggest problem I saw was the color scheme on the cards. It's hard to differentiate the grassy areas from the desert areas.
Well, you had a problem with that.
Well, I had a different lighting and angle than you did.
That's true.
I think it might have been that. But they are very subdued colors.
Yeah, it just feels very... Okay, because I've had historical, more of the historical theme, which is what they're going for, right? That are a lot more, I don't know, pretty, or more exciting. This, not so. And it's not that the art's bad.
No, the art's fine.
It's not that, it's just feels very drab to me.
Yeah. And I do like that there's 4 different player maps to play in the game that give you different variety of style of play. I thought that was pretty cool. There's 1 map for each player, 2-sided with 2 different maps.
Yeah,
and there's 2 sets of them.
But that doesn't really go with theme. But that goes...
Well, yeah, but it changes the gameplay, but it is thematic too, because you're getting a different map each one.
Yeah, well, and there's different things that you get money for later on, depending on the map you play. But, I mean, just overall theme-wise, I'll give this the 5.5 too. So what is your score for theme?
I'm probably going to give this a 6. I think I like the maps, the look of them, and the fact that they look kind of like a historic classic map. I mean, yes, the colors are subdued, but I do like the art style, and we didn't really give it points for the texture and the feel of the map so much. I'm going to give it a 6 here.
Okay, yeah. All right, so now let's talk about the rule book. It didn't take you long to read.
No,
this.
The rule book's super easy to read. It's got 12 pages, but the actual gameplay of it's got a nice cover and a back, so that's 2 of the pages. And this you got setup and components on the first 2 pages, so the actual gameplay is only about 4.5 pages of rules, and they're large font, and it's got sidebars, kind of reiterating the important things. It's a very simple read. It took us a matter of minutes to learn to play the game.
Yeah, it didn't take us long. So what would you give it a score-wise?
I mean, it's a very simple game to learn. The rule book didn't have to be very in-depth and thorough, and it wasn't. But it does its job fine. I'll give it an 8. I think it's a fine rule book.
Okay, all right. So now let's talk about the actual gameplay. So gameplay is you have a deck of cards that gets shuffled at the beginning of the round. And basically you flip it over. So normally I would have an empty board, but in this particular example, I have the water tile. I have to, in a straight line, so formation does matter sometimes. So I'll take 3 of my cubes, right? And I'll find a water line that I want to go down because...
But they have to connect to either one of your points, which was you have a city that you start from at the beginning of the game, or you can establish villages by filling in areas of terrain with your explorers. So you have to start from either one of those villages or an explorer that you have on the board already.
Or somewhere where you've already been, in the case further along in the...
Well, yeah, once you establish villages.
All right, so in this particular instance, I did place 3. Now, I did end up on a ship ruin, so what does that ship ruin mean? It means I'm going to take a treasure chest, I'm going to put it on the ship ruin, which means I can't get it anymore throughout the game, throughout the next couple of rounds. I'm going to take a treasure card, I'm going to get what's on there. In this case, it's 2 coins. Okay, so... that is taken care of. Now, then we keep flipping cards and we end up doing things. Now, once we, as Randy mentioned, once we complete an area type in one area, we're going to remove one of the squares and put in a tribe token, which we then can use in future rounds as starting locations. Now, there are also trade routes. So as I continue to explore, I'm going to connect cities. And when I connect cities, I am going to take a trading post with the matching color, put it on one of the cities, okay? And then I'm going to times the value of the 2 connecting cities. So if it's a 3 and a 2, that will be 3 times 2, that will be 6. So I'm going to get 6 victory points for doing that. There's a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3, so it all ranges from that.
You say victory points, but it's money in this game. So your money is your score at the end of the game.
Correct. And then, so if you've put a trading post on a city, that city can't be really used for trading anymore. So you'll have to expand out your map. And then there's also some wizard towers. So on the edges of the map, there are these wizard towers that if you can get to and locate, you'll get a substantial amount of money. The first one's worth 6, but if you get all 4 of them, it is worth 14. And you get it for each one. So first one I get 6, the second one I get 8, 10, and then 14. So that's a substantial amount.
There are treasure cards that reference the towers. So if you get towers and you've accumulated any of those treasure cards for in-game scoring, I got like a coin for every one of my towers, and I got 2 of them, so I could have gotten a bunch more points on top of the points you got.
Yeah, so it's pretty substantial, but again, they're basically the 4 corners of the board, so you have to travel far. I did end up getting 3 of them, which was very exciting for me anyway. So that being said, I think that's all the different tiles. There are terrain that have coins on them on the map, so when you explore that area, you get that coin. You can get those over and over again throughout the different rounds if you explore that area again.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of this game is there's 4 eras in the game, and each, like the first era, there's only 6 cards in the deck. There's the 5 terrain ones, and then you have one that's marked with a Roman numeral 1. When you get that Roman numeral 1, there's a deck of cards that you get to choose 2 from, and you get to add one to your board that you can trigger when that Roman numeral 1 comes up, because it stays in the deck, and even when you go into era 2 and era 3. So you can basically have a custom power that you get to trigger multiple times during the course of the game. And in era 4, there's Roman numeral 1/2/3, and you can choose any of your previous era cards to trigger with that. So you get to trigger one of them twice. And I thought that was a really cool mechanism.
No, I did actually really, really like that. That was actually a really cool mechanism because you could also kind of plan for these special ability cards. So I did think that that was actually a really nice touch. Yeah. So overall, talking about gameplay, and you hit it right on the nail on the head. It feels like a roll and write, but with cubes. Mm-hmm. And I think you're absolutely right.
It's a flip and write more than a roll and write, but it's the same thing.
Yes, yeah. But the flip and write. But still, that is a good feeling for this, but I'm not wasting paper or whatever doing this. So overall, I think you hit it spot on. That's the general feel of it. And I like me a good, flip and write or roll and write. So I think it's fine. I think it went very quickly. I think it's an easy teach. Mm-hmm. I could see a lot of people really liking this because it's fairly quick decision making. So I can appreciate it.
Oh, one thing we didn't mention is there's in-game during game scoring, really, not in-game. For the first person to achieve it, you get 10 coin, and then a subsequent people who achieve it get 5 coin. And there's 6 cards for each board, so you randomly shuffle and get 3 of them during the gameplay. So there's some variability in that as well.
Yeah, so, I got all of those first.
Yes, well, I tied for 1, but yeah. But yeah, and that ended up probably being a big chunk of the differentiating.
Yeah, because I got 142 and you got
129 or something, 128 or something.
Yeah, that was the kicker there, guys. No, so I thought that was actually really, really interesting. I mean, that's a fine mechanic. I liked this. Overall, I'm probably going to give this. I'm debating between 6.5 and a 7. What are you going to rate this?
I'm going higher than that, so.
Oh, well, I'll give it a 7. Because
no, you don't have to. What you want.
I do think it was actually a pretty good game. I think it was fun. I think it was fine for what this was. What are you thinking?
I was thinking 7.5. I thought it was a fun game. I enjoyed all aspects of this game. I love the mechanics of that. I like the exploration. And some of those cards that you get to add as powers are really powerful. I got one that you could continuously just go, as long as you could not hit water, you could just go a straight path, as many as you wanted down the path. And that was amazing. It was just like, especially at the time when I hit the first land space and I was able to just run right down the coastline with a complete line.
That helped you out more than
that helped a lot. And there were coins almost every space, so it was really cool. That was a neat feeling.
A huge catch-up mechanism for you.
So I like games where you can hit something that's like a power like that, where it just sends you flying. And there was a lot of cards that were various in that deck that you could choose from that gives you. All of them were pretty powerful.
No, so, all of them felt legit. They were really nice. So I'm fine with that.
I like games like that. And we didn't explore but a few cards in that deck and play in the game. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for, exploration of the decks, not to mention, of course, the boards. So, and there's, like I said, 4 different boards with completely different layouts and rules as far as how you play them. So I like when the games have that much variability in them, and I think this one is a light, easy, fun one. This is definitely not Hadrian's Wall. We keep comparing everything to Hadrian's Wall. This one's definitely nowhere near that caliber or depth. But it is a step above Welcome to or
yeah. I mean, no, I think it's fine. I think it's cute and not cute. Well, and here's the problem. It was visually boring for me. And so I think that's honestly some of that fun was lost for me because it just was I don't know. It just was very boring. It just felt boring, even though no, but I was messing with the pieces. I was doing that. That's kind of cool. Trying to figure out, okay, how do I reach here? Here's what cards are left. What am I going to do? That's cool. But just looking at the board, it was not visually stimulating. And I think that's where I'm a little bit lower than you and it should really be taken off in theme, but I put fun in gameplay. So that's where we are. But overall, I do think it's a solid game. So now, and this is my only problem with, because you were saying 14. Gameplay wise, I don't think you have to be 14 to play this. Visually, you may have to be 14 to play this. So I'm going to put that little caveat in there.
Just from an interest perspective.
Well, I just don't see Sarah playing this.
Well, no, I don't see Sarah.
It's not that she couldn't play the game.
That's like 6 years for Sarah, so she's still got a ways to go.
Well, no, but with the gameplay, she could play this game. It's just she wouldn't. She'd be like, "Mommy, this looks boring," and I'd be like, "Fair enough." So, but no, other than that, I think it was fun. I think it was fine. It was good. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast tonight playing. And we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.